Hi, today we have something different, something less retro. This Nintendo Switch Lite. It's in fairly good condition. The screen is perfect, like there's no scratches on the screen or anything like that. It doesn't work. Well, it does work, but the USB-C or charging port is damaged. You probably won't be able to see that. There's also a small crack here, but that's okay. You won't be able to see that. I'll show that under the microscope. So the USB-C port needs replacement, definitely. I think one of the power management chips might be damaged as well, or there's a chance. When these are badly damaged, and this is, sometimes it makes a short, and one of those or both of those chips can go bad. But yeah, we'll see. I'll replace the charging port first and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll do some troubleshooting and see what we can do. There's about billion screws on this device, so to take it apart it will take some time. So I won't do that. There's a lot of videos on YouTube how to disassemble that. One advice: just make sure your organize the screws. Most of them are the same size, but some of them are slightly longer. So yeah, make sure you know where to put them back. Apart from that, yeah, you need a screwdriver, the Nintendo tri-wing bit, and also Phillips. You need a hot station, soldering iron, and flux, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'll disassemble that and I'll go under the microscope with the motherboard. Okay, so after about a billion screws and several ribbon cables, the board is out. Let me show you the USB-C port. As you can see, one side is kind of okay, the other side, look, no single pin left. All of them just smashed inside. So yeah, this port definitely needs replacing, and I suspect, or there is a chance, all these smashed pins caused the short, and we may also need to replace either M92 or Q something, one of those power management chips. But let's first remove the USB-C port and we'll see what happens next. So the board is secured. It's at slight angle because here, as you can see, it's at an angle because my hot air gun wouldn't reach if it was completely flat, so it's at slight angle, but that doesn't really matter. Let me put my fume extractor on, and what I'll do, I'll just heat up from the bottom, from here, because there's a plastic connector here. I don't want to melt it. It would probably be okay. I could probably cover it with something, but there's nothing plastic on the bottom, so I'll just heat it up from the bottom, and then I'll just pick it up. So I have my hot air station set at 450 degrees Celsius and 70% airflow, so it should be fairly quick process. Just nudge the port to see if it's... no, not yet. Should be okay now. There. So the port is out. What we need to do now is to clean this area, remove the solder from these holes, remove solder from the pins or the pads here, and then add some fresh solder to the pads, put the new port back, and that'll be it. So let's do it right now. Okay, so this is the port. So I'll just add some fresh solder to these pads or to these mounting holes. As you can see, I have a pretty big tip, just to make sure I can hit the whole thing up. Should be okay. Now these ones here, sorry, these ones are usually kind of tricky. Actually, let me add some flux first to this whole thing. So I'll add flux here. Actually, I'll add that flux to those pads later on. So these pads can be tricky. Well, from my experience, these two are fairly easy. These two are kind of tricky to work with or to remove solder from. Okay, that should do it. Okay, and let's see if that will work. So I'll start from this side. Yeah, my board holder isn't great. Let me just adjust it. Okay, that should be better. So let's try again. This one's done. Let's put this guy. This one's okay. And now these, the ones that I don't like. Let's see how it goes this time. So yeah, this went pretty good. I think that little thing there is just flux. Let me just check. This is actually a bit of solder. We can take it out from the other side. Oh no, this is flux, some old flux. Yeah. Okay, so last one. Now I need to be careful not to damage this connector. So let's try approach it from this side. This didn't work very well, unfortunately, so let me add some fresh flux. Fresh leaded solder again. You know what, I'll just clean it off because it doesn't look great. Okay, I'll do more cleaning later on. Let's try it again. So fresh flux. Let's try that again. Hopefully we'll be lucky this time. Yep. So that's done. I'll clean the whole thing now. That looks a lot better now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean off these pads. So I'll add some fresh lead solder first. Maybe something like this. This one here, put that on there. So something like this. Sorry about that. As I said, my folder is late. I'm going to do this here. Okay, so good. So let's clean it up again. I'll add some fresh solder to the pads. Need to be careful not to touch these mounting holes. I need more flux. Just like that. I need to clean off my tip. And that should be it. I'll clean it off again. So with that done, I have a new port here. What I like to do, I like to add or tin these pads on the connector as well. I think it makes better connection, or there is a better chance of the port making connection with the board. So again, some fresh flux, and very gently I'll just add some solder to those pads. Okay, I think they're all tinned. So I'll clean this again. I mean the port. So the port is now ready to go to the board. So I'll just make sure it fits there. Sorry, my workbench isn't the biggest one. So yeah, it sits flat there. So let me just mount the board and I'll heat it up from the bottom again. Obviously I'll add some flux, but I'll show it in a minute. So again, it lines up perfectly fine, as you can see. So what I'll do, I'll again heat up from the bottom. I'll just push the connector and wait until the solder melts, and we should be good. So let's do it again. Let's do it again, and again 450, 70% airflow. Actually, I'll take the port out for now, and I'll put it back here when the solder melts. Sorry, one more thing that I forgot, obviously. Flux. Unfortunately, it will flow down, but hopefully some of it will stay. So let's put the port back in, just like that. I'll push on it. I think we're good. Okay, we should be good now. So I'll remove the board from my makeshift holder, and we'll secure the connector, just soldering these holes, and we'll check the pins. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll just secure this this port. I'll just add some fresh solder, or sorry, fresh flux to these holes. Okay, let's check if the solder got to the other side. Where is that port? There it is. So yeah, as you can see, the solder is on both sides. Now the last one thing we need to do is we need to check these pins. Let me just zoom in. So this one's loose. This one's loose. So we have two pins loose. This one, and which one was it? This one. Yeah, that's not a problem. We can work around that. So I'll add some fresh flux. And I'll go over those pins one more time with the soldering iron this time. So well, I just need to see them first. So this one, and we should be all good. So let me clean this mess again. And I'll clean the other side, by the way, as well. Okay, this side looks more or less okay. Okay, so I'll zoom in again. Let's just go through those pins again, just to make sure they're all good. This one's okay. This one's still moving. I'll just reflow. Yeah, so it's the same pin again. I think this one, right? Or this one? No, this one isn't moving. This one is moving. I'll reflow that again. So let me do that again. Okay, so we're back, and I'll just add some flux. I'll turn on my fume extractor, and let's reflow that again. I'll make sure I'm pushing on the port again. This my holder isn't great. I need to buy something slightly better, but I should be able to push on it. So let's do it again. Okay, it's melting. Okay, that should be it. Let's go over the pins while we're here. Oh yeah, that's much better now. Yeah, perfect. So I'll go ahead, clean the whole thing, and I'll put it all back to the point where I can test if it's charging or not, and I'll be back. Okay, so the switch is reassembled, more or less. I didn't put any screws, I just put the ribbon cables and the battery. I connected the battery, and I have this tester or whatever it is. So let's connect it and see what happens. Just need to be careful because there's no screws again. And okay, so we have 15 volts. We have almost half amp. It reset. Oh, I think it's booting up. I think it is booting up. Let me just flip this thing. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, buttons don't work really well. Again, it's not screwed. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me just try one more thing. I'll just flip the USB-C cable just to make sure both sides work. There. Yeah, works perfectly fine. Okay, I'll reassemble the thing back again, and I'll test all the buttons and everything. Okay, so the switch is fully reassembled. I'll just plug in the power because the battery was it's coming up. The battery was discharged, so it's starting up. And let's test a few things. So touchscreen works apparently. Let's see if the controls, if the sticks have any drift or anything like that. No, this one looks perfect. What about this one? This one's perfect as well. Let's see. Yeah, everything seems to work. Capture taken. Okay, one last thing, touchscreen. Forgot about that. I think it's here. Yeah. Looks good. Okay, so yeah, one last thing actually. Where's Wi-Fi here? Oh, it's not here. It's... Where is Wi-Fi on this thing? Internet. so it can see my networks. Okay, let me do it off screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this device looks perfectly fine. Apparently it was only USB-C. I was kind of lucky because I thought the BQ or one of these power management chips can be damaged, in which case I would have to replace those. But works perfectly fine. Apparently only USB was the problem. So when it comes to replacing USB-C on this thing and on the original, I think Nintendo as well, one thing, make sure you have kind of stable and solid holder or something you can put the board on, because you need to push the when reflowing the connector, you need to push it against the board. I was my holder wasn't great and was just holding the board in one place, and the board was bending. I was afraid to push too much, and hence all the problems. I had to reflow that. But yeah, it's not hard. It's doable. So I have a few. I think I have another one that has USB-C. Needs USB-C port replacements, and I have one that's supposedly water damaged. That might be interesting repair. I'll make a video of that. And I think I have two original or Nintendo Switches, original Switches with controller or drift and some other issues. So yeah, I'll make videos on those as well. I also have a few PlayStations. One will be interesting, I think. So yeah, keep watching and my channel. If you like my videos, please subscribe, please like, and yeah, that's all for today. Thank you.